Hello, everyone. Welcome to an episode of PlayStation Underground. I'm your host, Brett, and I'm joined by Marco Rizzo, Marketing Manager for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Hello, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here today.
Hi, and I'm also joined by Tim. Hello, Tim.
Hey there.
Hi. And today we're looking at new footage for the upcoming DLC for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, the DLC Bardock Alone Against Fate. So, Marco, tell us about what we're going to see today.
Yeah, so today we're going to have this new footage that will show us a little bit of exploration of Planet Vegeta, which is one of the locations that players can explore into the DLC, but also to have a look at a sub-quest that will show us a typical slice of life from the planet Vegeta, where the Saiyans come from, that we don't really get to experience neither in the main game, and we don't get to see a lot into the original anime.
Yeah, it's been really exciting to see all the DLC additions over the last couple of years. I finished Kakarot a couple of years ago. Really fun story, great way to experience the story of Dragon Ball, and of course the DLC just expands on that story. And here with the Bardock timeline, we get to see a bit of what happened before, a lot of the main events that a lot of fans are familiar with. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I completely agree, especially because Kakarot the main game has the special emphasis to reproduce faithfully all the famous scenes from the anime, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really going to be an experience that the core fans will really appreciate, I feel.
Great. Let's get into some new footage. Let's go. All right, so we're going to jump into a side quest here. And as with DBZ Kakarot, the main game, it does recount the main story and a lot of the key moments. And we don't want to get into spoilers and where the story with Bardock goes and involving Frieza and everything, but we do want to show you a little bit of sample gameplay of one of the sub-quests.
Yeah, exactly. So the background for this sub-quest is as we're meeting this character called Spinny that essentially is trying to attract the attention of Fasha, which is one of the members of the team that works with Bardock. And essentially Spinny is concerned that since he might not be strong enough to attract the attention of Fasha, so he's asking Bardock to fight him, to either train him or just make him stronger. So you can tell this is connected to something that I said before, that it kind of shows this light of life that you don't see a lot.
Yeah.
And this is interesting to me because I would say if my DBZ knowledge was like subscribed to power level, it's probably more like negative 9,000. But this kind of like insight is cool to see the world.
Yeah, indeed. I think that, like I said before, some parts of the DLC reproduce the story as it's originally written in the anime, right? And some other, like these ones, have been specifically created for the game to just give this sense of better immersion for the player, where you can decide to go through the main quest as if to relive the TV special, but also to just experience these kind of side episodes that you would not otherwise experience.
Yeah, and it's reminding me now because it's been a minute since I played through Kakarot, but I loved the combat in this game, and yeah, having any excuse to dive back into the battles in this, even for like moments like this, like you said, the slice of life things, to just get in a game that looks like I'm playing an anime, all the sound effects that you recognize, so many cool like stacking abilities that you get, and even remembering like pounding people into the ground, following up. And like closing the distance between them, like it was super fun. So it's so much fun to watch and play.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you can also get to do these very typical attacks that we see right now, where it's the consecutive energy blaster, like one of the signature things, the signature attack that happens in Dragon Ball. And the game really allows you to do them in a very, let's say, intuitive way. And I really agree with everything, like all the sound effects, it really makes you feel like you are inside the anime and you're super faithful to what's going on.
So if I'm reading this correctly, is Spinny going to ask Bardock to just get another fight and push him even harder?
Yeah, that's correct. In true Saiyan spirit, with the idea to get stronger with that. So Spinny has a clear objective here.
And I'm sure Bardock does have more pressing things to get to at some point. But that was the fun of Kakarot as a game, was to just live in that universe a bit longer and do some of the, we've said it a few times, but the mundane slice of life things for these characters that can shatter mountains and launch people into orbit. It's just fun to my cat's stuck in the tree kind of stuff. And,
yeah, no, I do get that, especially because you really get to interact with a lot of characters that are just outside of the ordinary of what is Dragon Ball. It's difficult to think about ordinary when you talk about Dragon Ball, right? For the reasons that you just said. And what I also like a lot about Kakarot is that it gives you this sort of peaceful environment. It's not always about fighting the new bad guy, but you can also just take your time to explore and even collect ingredients to eat and level up your stats in a permanent way, so that you can basically you're more prepared for your next fight, which is something that you do not see into the normal let's say episodes of the anime, but it does happen or would happen.
Yeah, I do remember flying around a lot, because just exploring, grabbing the orbs, grabbing ingredients, and just enjoying. I don't know, there's just a pleasantness of just flying around peacefully. The exact opposite of what we're watching now, but
yeah,
but yeah, it offers both, because there was just a pleasure of flying around, and the architecture, the art style of the whole series. It's just fun to be in that world.
Yeah, completely agree. Especially now that soon we will have a PS5 upgrade for this game. I think all this level of graphic detail are going to make the experience even better for sure.
Yeah, arrives in January, I believe, right?
Yeah, that will be the 13th of January.
Yeah, and there he goes.
And there we go. Bardock shows that he's still the Apex fighter. And here on the left, you see that you got some reward, which are orbs that allow you to basically be spent for leveling up your skill. And here Spinny gets what he wanted, which is being pummeled on the edge of oblivion, to quote him. And Fasha indeed comes back as his main objective on why he's going through so much pain.
Love at first sight. Yeah, it's a cool story. Bardock's whole tale, it's really fun. So seeing it get the like DBZ Kakarot treatment is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because indeed there is a lot of emphasis into this game for replicating the famous scene, right? And I really think that this DLC gets the job done in that sense.
Are we on our way to learn about Fasha's side of the story? Then?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And here, while we're flying over the Frieza Force base, which is one of the locations that you can experience in this DLC alone, you see in the top right corner, all these blue icons are actually other subquests that you can take. So this is just one of the many that were added to add this kind of alternative routes that the players can take to experience the Dragon Ball world.
All right, let's see what she's got to say.
Yeah, we will soon know. And the dear Bardock is just going to tell us how was the experience of the from his side of the situation.
So I beat this guy up. Seems cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is rare to see so many Saiyans just sitting around chatting.
Yeah, just indeed. No, I really like this angle, because even though if you think that the very, very first villain of the main game, so not the DLCs, is the brother of Goku, which is another Saiyan,
right?
People get very scared and very, how do you say, they're really astonished by the fact that there is another Saiyan like Goku, and afterwards there's Vegeta and Nappa, right? So other two Saiyans, just to reinforce that. And here, no, you're just walking among them, and it's perfectly normal. And this is also one of the beauties of the fact that this is getting brought to a DLC and a video game.
So we talked about the PS5 update coming in January. When is Bardock Alone Against Fate DLC dropping?
At the same time.
Same time?
Yeah.
Cool, coming to PS4 and PS5.
Correct. With the free upgrade from PS4 to PS5 if you already own the game.
Right, for the main Kakarot game.
That's correct, yes. And now here you get indeed a glance of the kind of rewards that this kind of subquest they give you.
Yeah.
Which is experience and little gifts that you can spend in a dedicated board that will give us bonus once a certain combinations is achieved.
Great. Well, thanks for sharing this subquest. This is just one of many. You mentioned the blue exclamation points all over the map, like any number of stories or tasks or errands and all kinds of stuff you can do to immerse yourself in the world. But yeah, Bardock Alone Against Fate arrives alongside the PS5 upgrade SKU January 13th.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks again for the footage. Excited to jump back into DBZ Kakarot. Loved the game when it first came out, and excited to play more. So thanks for joining us.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks, everybody.